Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jim Van Cleve, on the board of directors for the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, and we have an exciting day today with lots of information and things that most of you have never seen, but hopefully soon we'll see them in the flesh, so to speak. But first, I'd like to hand it over to Myrna Myrna to talk about our Spanish translation that we'll be doing here. It's a bit of a new thing, but we're going to make this happen. So, Myrna, why don't you explain how we go about this?
Of course. Good morning, everybody. So we're going to have translation from Spanish to English, English to Spanish. So for those that you are bilingual or you just want to get into one language, at the bottom of your screen, you will hear the interpretation button. And then you will select the language. So those that only speak Spanish, they can click the Spanish and you will hear the translation. And then English, you will also hear. Or you can, if you're bilingual, you can stay on the original audio and you will be able to hear it. And with that, this is it.
All right. Well, hopefully that went through. I'm sure we'll see it on chat if anybody is having any difficulties. But, well, today's going to be an exciting day, as I promised. We're going to, as you all know, we've moved from Golden, Colorado to Unity Village in Missouri, and that's going to be explained. The experience of all that is going to be explained by Reverend Kathy. We're going to take a walking tour of the space. Everything isn't quite 100% together yet, but it's operating and it's beautiful already. We've had, Reverend Kathy's going to talk about some of the visitors we've had. We've had more visitors, I think, in the last 2 months than we've had in 2 years before that. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing, the foot traffic of the new thought people that are coming through. And that's exactly what we wanted. One of the things I'd like to kind of add to the agenda is that we've kind of awoken a bit with all the work that we're doing, especially Reverend Dr. Mark Gilbert, on digitizing Ernest Holmes' talks and other great leaders and ministers. And we've taken a good look at our mission statement and reframed it. And I think it's important to say our vision and mission. In that before our mission was really kind of to collect up all the old books and writings of Ernest Holmes, and et cetera, and preserve them and, present them. But then along came digitization, and along came the ability to transcribe and to into a modern digital format many of the words and speeches and etc. that Ernest made. And that really has changed things in that now we've realized that we're a gateway to discovering, learning, and living our spiritual philosophy. I read this as it is our job to spread the word of Ernest Holmes. We are now the leaders in that activity. And that is a big change. And that is the most exciting thing that I've realized since the 10 years I've been with the archive. Well, with that in mind, then, I think it's time to, we say, what should we expect here? Where in the world is Ernest? Now, you can think about that for a few minutes until we explain it. And we'd like to acknowledge all the work that we've done. And the first thing we want to show is our relocation committee. It took, what was it, a year and a half?
And actually, I think we're going to pray in, and then we're going to move in.
Yes, of course. We want to pray in first. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's hear from the master of prayer.
Let us take as the thought for our meditation today these words from James. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of light, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. And let us carefully note that this statement deals with the two great realities we have been talking about: the divine presence, which is the Father of light, and the law of good, in which there is no variableness. Let us then feel this divine presence and use this law of good, as each says quietly to himself, I am established in the infinite presence of God, which gives me perfect life, perfect mind, and perfect self-expression. The light of life shines through me in warmth and in radiance. The light of joy is in me, and I am one with the joy of all people and of all life. The love of the Father brings harmony and happiness into my relations with all people. There is no question in my mind about the certainty of the law that responds to this word. There is no variableness in the law of God, nor is there any variableness in my confidence and faith in it. I establish myself as the receiver of God's blessing, and know that by the very nature of life, all that I hold to be true is made real in my experience.
And so we continue in that consciousness that Dr. Ernest Holmes has led us into, and recalling his perfect words of the divine presence and the law of good. And so I continue that consciousness with my words, and I speak my word for the perfection and the good of the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation. I know that there is a perfect unfoldment of this beautiful organization, preserving, protecting, and promoting our history, our beautiful artifacts, our books, all of the wisdom of the ages is ours to care for and to take advantage of in goodness and in sharing. And so I speak my word for the divine relocation of the Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation to its most perfect new location in Unity Village. I know that there is a beautiful, vibrant future for our archives as we do our good work in the future. And I give such gratitude to know that these words are so right here and right now. I give gratitude to every person here today who has brought that divine and perfect consciousness of care for our history and progress and evolution for our future. And so with a grateful heart, realizing the truth of every one of these words, I give thanks for all of this good and so much more to come. And I invite you to affirm this for yourself by saying, and so it is.
Oh, it is.
Wow. Well, thank you, Dr. Deborah Gordon and Dr. Holmes, for those prayers. Now, I think, are we ready to talk about the relocation committee?
Let me share the screen. So,
It's important that we all realize the incredible quantity of work and what it took to move two 53-foot-long semi-trailer truckloads full of books and artifacts, the mileage from Colorado into Missouri. And these are the people that contributed. Some contributed an awful lot. And of course, all this is volunteer work. We, of course, had some help from the CSL to coordinate, and so those are the names of those that got this incredible job done.
Would you like to see the board, Reverend?
I think we're ready for the board. Yes, this is our board. The most famous person of which is Dr. Marilyn Leo, the founder of the archives and many other things. And we're the ones that make the decisions of, you know, how to manage the archives. And it is with great gratitude that we appreciate the board of directors and the relocation committee.
Thank you.
Well, I think we're ready, Reverend Kathy, for some photographs.
You bet. No, thank you so much, Dr. Jim. We're so grateful for you as a board president and your leadership throughout this amazing move, and everyone that we've already acknowledged. So I just love this picture because April 5th, 2024, we did it. And so think about that. That was just a few short months ago. We went from signing the lease at a board meeting to this historic move. And so here are some photos of packing. And I will start off with our project manager, JT Thurman. He is our archives angel and manager. He volunteered his time. He is my beloved, and we're engaged. We're getting married 1 month from yesterday. And so that's coming up. But he is retired, and bless his heart, he took on this project with love. And he started off the first few months just organizing the books. He organized 7,000 to 10,000 books and put them in Library of Congress order, which is amazing. And we started doing a thing we call the ta-da. So you'll notice it throughout the slides. Ta-da, when you finish something or you've accomplished something, we celebrate. So there's him doing a few ta-das. And he donated over 827 hours for this project from November to July. And I'm trying to think of, there's like a country song about ribbons and lace. Well, we sang Tape in Boxes was like our country song, because like every 2 minutes we're buying more tape and buying more boxes. We thought it'd be about 300. It was over 900 boxes that we put together. We also had a special crew come in to crate our precious and fragile artifacts. They did an amazing job. Everything came safe and sound on the move. And then volunteers has really made it happen. And I should give a shout out to CSL Boulder Valley, Reverend Jody Stevenson. She's retired from there, but she had a heck of a crew. And they came at least like 6 times to help us pack. The small but mighty community just came with enthusiasm, and her beloved Tom would cook for everyone, and I'm sure that helped too. And then we have more volunteers. I see folks on here, Reverend Steve Kinsfather and his beloved Terry worked, and we have just, people would just show up out of the blue. We had a week where we thought we had no volunteers, and then Reverend Patrick Soren would show up, and my friend Carrie Sandmeyer, and Andy Glazer. I mean, people would just show up and spend 2 to 3 hours, and it just made all the difference in the world. More to does. We have board members. Reverend Mark Gilbert jumped in with his beloved Mary, and oh my God, Dr. Mark Gilbert. And we have just, anyways, lots of love and joy. Colleen Stevenson really took on organizing the library. Reverend Robert Brzezinski, Dr. Robert, and of course Jody Stevenson again. So these are still preliminary numbers, but in Golden we had about 30 volunteers for 263 hours. Unity Village, here we had 8 volunteers doing 213 hours, and of course JT's hours. So we have about 39 volunteers, 1,303 hours for this move. And so behind the scenes, keeping us going, I do want to honor our beloved Melinda Eskridge. She kept that website flowing and all the customer service. She was here 2 years longer than me, so she's been here 12 years dedicating her sacred service to the archives. And here we are taking our names off the door. So there's a lot of bittersweet going on here with the new adventure. And as Dr. Jim already shared, so we have almost 100 years of our history, 900 plus boxes, the historic furniture, 45,000 pounds in 2 semi-tractor trailers. Wow. And here they are. So all organized and ready to go. And Johnson Storage and Moving did an amazing job. They even shared that it was the most organized move they'd ever seen. And that's thanks to JT. He just put everything in categories. I mean, from the start, we had a system in place, and it worked well. And here's some of the tractor trailers. Colorado is definitely coming to Unity Village, Missouri. We showed them. And this is the team at Johnson Storage and Moving. They just did a spectacular job. This was the lead. His name is Adam. I think it's very sacred on purpose, Adam. You know, he just took it very to the heart. He made sure our belongings were cared for. He personally packed items to make sure that they were packed well. And this beautiful soul, she's like, I know that magazine. She helped publish it for 3 years. She worked on the side that printed it. And it's like, angels and spirits were always with us. And I did want to share this moment because it was just such an odd moment when it was just me and JT by ourselves taking down the sign for the Science Mind Archives. And I just really just want you to feel that in your heart, that you were there. You know, I was actually trying to FaceTime with Dr. Marilyn. I'm like, Dr. Marilyn, we're taking the sign down. You know, just to feel that, that holy moment of endings as we get ready for new beginnings. And here is, all the rooms are empty and clean. And then I did get Ernest Holmes. He came with me in my car for a road trip to Unity Village. He's a good travel partner, by the way. And so meanwhile, at Unity Village, they were preparing the space. They were ripping out carpet and painting the walls. They put tens of thousands of dollars, almost $100,000 of upgrades to our space. So it was fresh, new, and beautiful and ready for us to go. So here we are, we've arrived. So this is Monday, June 3rd. Unity Village, they were helping us put ramps. They were just Johnny on the spot helping us. And they had the crews were unloading. And then look who's here. Oh my gosh, giving a whole new meaning to being a working board. We had Dr. Christina Collins and Dr. Martha Quintana and their beloveds here just at ground zero, you know, helping to unload and direct the boxes. They stayed all week long, and oh my gosh, they did so much. I just are enduring gratitude for them. We had other volunteers show up. Oh my gosh, now this is Dana Vogt. She flew in from California the day after graduating ministerial school so she could help out. And Kathy Nash Peterson was already here. And then Jody Stevenson and Jan Carruthers, oh my gosh, Jody came back. They spent a week here helping us unpack and get things ready. We had a warm welcome from our friends at Unity Village. They made an entire display to welcome us at the Unity Archives. How sweet is that? And Unity actually purchased for us this lovely sign so people would know where to go. It says, stop in and say hi. Reverend Mark Foss is the mayor of Unity Village, actually, and they were just a warm welcome. And then here we go. Oh my gosh, in only 2 months, we had over 100 visitors here. It was incredible. They had Unity Worldwide Ministries, the Empower Musical Festival, International New Thought Alliance Congress, people of African descent celebrating our soul. And oh my gosh, it was just amazing. We just said, pardon our mess. And then our beautiful friends from Celebrating Our Soul, they did a chamber prayer to really bless our space. And it was quite beautiful. And again, boxes, boxes, boxes. If you pack 900 boxes, guess what you get to unpack? 900 boxes. And JT declared it done on the end of July. And Ernest Holmes is home. And honestly, and so JT and I, we got to sell our homes and we moved here too. So there's my sweet little house on the side of a mountain for 30 years for sale. And here's our new home in Unity Village. It's just been a blessing and miracle upon miracles on this whole journey. So Dr. Tracy Brown did an amazing thing while she was here. So we were able to bring the Science Mind Foundation's Legacy Society Celestial Wall. And I just wanted to share her little video she made. Come here, friend. And, so trusting you have volume, let me know if you don't. Come on, Facebook, help me.
Wall. The Science of Mind Foundation Legacy Society Celestial Wall of Honor. There is a power in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. Every one of us in the secret place of the Most High, in the center of his own consciousness, has the secret with the eternal, the everlasting, the almighty, and the ineffable. God and I are one. I see you uniting in one great hymn of praise, one great union of effort, one crescendo of song, and one enveloping light of consciousness. I see it. Oh God, the veil is thin between. We do mingle with the hosts of heaven.
Isn't that beautiful? And at this point, hi, there's everyone. I would like to turn it over to either Dr. Christina Collins or Dr. Martha Quintana. They're going to share just a bit about their experience being here as we were unloading that historic day.
Thank you. Is Dr. Christina here?
Sure, they were on a cruise, and so we'll just see if we got back in time.
Okay. So we were there the very first day that the two semi-tractor trailers of books and artifacts and everything showed up. And it's interesting because we'd been told there were 900 boxes. We'd been told that all of this was there. But when we saw it pull up, it was incredible. And even more incredible was just the love that surrounded this move. Everyone at Unity Village, they kept saying things like, you know, what can we do to make things easier for you? The maintenance guys were there. And so the guy who's the head of maintenance at Unity Village, his name escapes me in this moment, but he's vice mayor. And he goes, you know, I'm the vice mayor of Unity. We'll get you what you need. And so it was just lovely. And the crew that unloaded the truck was just amazing. They were all of them. In fact, there was a young woman, she told me she was in high school and that she was helping her dad, who was one of the main movers, and she wanted to know more about the archives and what they were doing. And, so anyway, it felt historic and I was glad I was there. And Dr. Christina Collins and her incredible husband, Jim, my incredible husband, Mason. And so the four of us, we all got to know each other better and along with Kathy and JT. And one of the things I just want to mention quickly, and then I'll be off again, is what a Herculean and miraculous job Kathy and JT did to get all of this together in place and transported over. It was nothing short of a miracle. And to see it in person, it was amazing. So huge shout out to Kathy and JT for all of the work that they put in. It was amazing. So anyway, That's my report. Just staying in awe. Thank you.
Thank you. And gosh, Mason, I mean, JT keeps saying he couldn't have done it without Mason's help and your help and everyone's help. And every bit just made it happen. All right, so I'm going to show you our new digs, and I'm going to mute this and try not to get feedback. And then Mirna's going to pin my good. All right. All right, yeah, so pin this feller. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And let me turn my camera. You already know what I look like. Let's show you the new space. So I do want to start in silence. And I just want you to feel it as we walk in. So here we are. We made a little Hazel home section, which is kind of fun. And we're going to have her prayer rug up here too. But this is items from her office, her Kuan Yin, items, Dr. Marilyn Leo so lovingly collected. It's her favorite sketch of Ernest Holmes. And people may recognize Dr. Ernest Holmes' honorary doctorates from around the world that are here, along with his desk. We also have this lovely display case that Dr. Marilyn gave to us, and with items from Dr. Holmes, his textbook, his birth certificate, pins, greeting cards, and gosh, Dr. Martha, when she was in town, we actually looked at his date runner, his data book from 1959, so the year before he passed. And oh my gosh, to see what Ernest Holmes had on his schedule the year before he passed. Dr. David may recognize this feller that he adopted. It's Ernest Holmes' handwritten shortboard of the Buddha. So it really does take a village. It takes everyone here to preserve it. Look what we found. These are scrolls for player pianos. These are from Ernest. And so it's really kind of neat to see the different music from back in the day. And so we got some new treasures that came. So we do want to express gratitude to Centers for Spiritual Living for giving us a number of items on long or term or permanent loan. And they also gifted us the portrait for the archives. So here's Ernest looking over everything. He's got his suitcases still. They are unpacked. So this is our museum area. And again, it may look familiar, but this is a beautiful space. It's called Fillmore Hall, and now it's called Holmes Hall. But you can feel the history of Unity when you walk in here. It's built in the 40s, and I've learned so much about our friends, the Fillmores of Unity. This may look familiar too. This is from the plaque from the Institute of Religious Science and School of Philosophy National Headquarters, founded by Dr. Ernest Holmes, 1927. And here's the original incorporation papers. This is our wall of gratitude, and Ernest Holmes shirt and Hazel Holmes jacket. We have a little mini bookstore here that we're trying to have everyone use QR codes to purchase some of our wonderful historic items. A little honoring of Science of Mind magazine. And let's kind of walk in here. This actually used to be Connie Fillmore's office. This will be our executive assistant's office. She was the last Fillmore to work at Unity Village. And so how neat to have Connie's office. The office I'm in used to be we've really done a great job of insulating the windows thanks to Dr. Chris Collins and her husband Jim. And here they are. We're organizing them again. We do have the minutes from the movement in here. And it's being temperature controlled, and we're monitoring the humidity here. If anyone knows anything about Missouri, it's a little humid, and it's been doing spectacular. I'm really grateful that our humidity and temperature are doing great, but we do have a backup plan to purchase a dehumidifier if needed. Here's some Emerson essays. Here's our tracking logs of the temperature and humidity. And again, it's 67 degrees and 53% humidity, not too shabby. We have our pamphlet file cabinets. Again, everything should look familiar to a bunch of you, but it contains amazing history of our movement in them. I do encourage you, if you're in town coming to a Unity event, come visit us. It's so fun. It's a great place for visitors. And look, we even have a little Asilomar section because we found some really cool old photos of Asilomar from back in the 50s. And I am a little weird, and we are going into the bathroom because it's like stepping back into time with the pink tile. And our friends, Reverend Jody and Jan Carruthers, decorated it so it's purdy. So we just want it to feel elegant and beautiful, and to people really just like, wow, this is so cool. We're stepping in history. We have our 10,000 books here. We have our modern New Thought authors, and for the Celebrating Our Soul, we have featured some of our wonderful friends. Oh, and Dr. David, your wonderful book is here too. So we're working on it. We're working on our displays. We're certainly not completely settled in yet. We have the wonderful museum items from Dr. Marilyn's family. Let's go down this hallway. So we have this space here. We had basically 2,900 square feet at Golden. We have about 4,300 square feet here. As you already saw, the Science Mind Foundation Celestial Wall is here. So we don't have this big space yet. So please hold this in consciousness. We like to rent out the rest of the space. This will be our archivist's office. It's all nice and cleaned up. I bet Martha, and when Chris watches it, we'll just go, oh my gosh, because it was all boxes. This back room is still kind of all boxes. And so you can see how we could really utilize that rest of the space when we get there. This will be our workroom for the archivist. All righty, we're just going to zip around. And this over here is our main archives. Again, temperature and humidity controlled and monitored. I'm doing well. So again, this might look familiar. Shelves you can actually find and see. It's we found so many new treasures just from unpacking things and moving them. And this is where, like Dr. Mark Gilbert, found the manuscripts for Ernest Holmes at Asilomar, and it became a book that everyone can now purchase on Amazon. And here's Science of Mind magazine. We're working on reorganizing it. You know, from the move, things got a little disheveled, but we are putting it back into beautiful order. Oh, here's Creative Thought magazine. We're reorganizing. And so we have, you can see we have overflow still. This is the Betty Jean House Fund. And look at what some cool pictures we found too. Robert Bitzer. Let's go on the back as well. And again, it's nice and organized. It's temperature controlled, so we can. So does anyone have any questions right off? Head back and just unmute.
Kathy, I do. You sort of cut out when you shared the square footage of the new place and the old place.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We had about 2,900 square feet in Golden and about 4,300 square feet here.
Thank you. It looks beautiful.
Thanks. I'm going to leave this Zoom meeting and join you again. Like magic. Here I am. Thank you. All righty. And so I want to share. I think Dr. Deb is going to be up. I'm going to show a few things for her.
You ready for me?
I think so. So we just did the walking tour, and we did a buy a box campaign. That really helped. Again, we originally said 300 boxes, and obviously we had over 900, and we're really grateful. And then this is our current fundraising status. I will hand over to Dr. Deb.
Yeah, so first of all, of course, a great big whelm of gratitude to everybody who has contributed to our relocation fund. We've had so much interest and so much support in this, and we are really so very grateful. You saw all the boxes with the names on them. That was kind of our kickoff to that. And then, of course, people's just individual donations as well. We were very fortunate to have the Hefferlin agree to do matching funds for us. So that was a big boost in that they matched $25,000. And that really helped us a lot. And so you can see that we have currently raised $120,766. So we're 81% to our goal, which was $150,000. And so our portal to prosperity continues to remain open on our website, and you can donate right there. And I'm sure that through the pictures you saw Dr. Holmes in various locations, in various sizes and ilks. And so that's sort of the next piece of our fundraising are the cutouts of Ernest. And so you see there on the screen, Ernest is home and Holmes is where the heart is. And so we have created these cutouts, and you can see there the sizes and the amounts for them. And it's so much fun because what we're doing is encouraging people to purchase one, of course, but also where in the world is Ernest? And so you can see Ernest is getting around, and we would love to see him get around even more. There he is in my kitchen with me, and in all of these different places. I happen to know that right now he is also with my daughter in Banff, Alberta. And pretty soon he's going to go with Ken and I to Vietnam. And so we would love for everyone who is all in different places, which of course we are, to purchase an Ernest. And then if you forward, I hope this is correct, forward your photos to Julia Mattis, who is on the screen there. She will make sure they get shared on our Facebook page, and we can all do our parts in making sure that Ernest is worldwide and everywhere present. And so, again, you can purchase it on our website there, scienceofmindarchives.com. And again, please know that we're just so very grateful for your support. And I absolutely know that we're going to reach that $150,000 goal. So thank you, everybody.
All right, I'm going to hand this over to Julia.
Thank you, Reverend Kathy. And thank you, Dr. Deb, for that amazing presentation on where in the world is Ernest. So next we roll into our grand announcement, which is save the date, because we are thrilled to present our upcoming Science of Mind Archives grand opening weekend extravaganza at Unity Village. And as you see on the slide here, that is scheduled from Thursday, April the 24th through Sunday, April the 27th, 2025. And this event promises to be a celebration of our shared history, vision, and the future of the Science of Mind archives. So quickly, it's a 4-day event because we have lots of exciting mini events scheduled within the 4-day program. We start with a kickoff on Thursday night. For those who want to check in on Thursday, we do have 50 rooms set aside. There are 30 of them from Thursday through Sunday, and there are 20 of them that are for Friday through Sunday. And it's important, if you're going to come, please get your reservations done quickly because the rooms are going. We do have 2 backup room hotels as well. But I mean, really, how cool to be right on Unity Village and in the hotel there. So Thursday night, we have sort of, again, equated social, giving you the opportunity to check in throughout the day, check out the campus, and also to start taking tours of the archives. So we'll have guided tours all the way from Thursday through Sunday. Then on Friday, we're going to kick off the morning with a Board of Governors and Board of Directors meeting, followed by, again, a series of tours of the archives and Unity Village. We're working with the members of Unity Village to allow that to happen. Then the big event starts at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, when we're going to host an official ribbon cutting. We're going to have local dignitaries and government officials, as well as leaders from our movement. And what's going to happen is we're going to have a chamber prayer. And then when we did our conscious completion ceremony in Denver, we created a sand pillar that Kathy has. And so we're, as a part of, there it is. So as a part of our ceremony, we're going to reincorporate the sand jar and turn this into a very sacred ritual as we pray in and do our chamber prayer as officially into the new location. And then later that evening, we're going to have dinner that will start at 5 o'clock. We're going to have our gala, and it's going to have a series of musicians as well as keynote speakers. Right now, we have Dr. Jesse Jennings as our keynote for the evening. So it promises to be an exciting, fun-filled day on Friday. And if you decide to stay with us through Saturday, Saturday will be a series of workshops in the morning, another town hall village meeting in the afternoon to help us vision for the future, followed by guided labyrinth walks through Unity's gorgeous labyrinth, followed by a closing ritual at around 3 o'clock for those who need to leave early and get off and speak on Sunday. But for those of you who are going to stay, we also will be arranging to go to CSL, Kansas City, Sunday morning as a group for service. So it promises to be a really exciting, wonderful weekend, and we hope that you will all join us there in April. Kathy, you're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry, my mouse is jumping. Thank you so much, Julie. Julie has just been spectacular with this entire adventure of the archives as our volunteer development director. She's guided us as a commercial realtor, and she really has put her heart into this. And so many blessings to Julia for all her creative ideas and her divine support and just love of Science of Mind and Ernest Holmes and Dr. Marilyn. So thank you so much. I just wanted a little housekeeping thing for folks is we do have a new address. And so it has been kind of an adventure trying to get our mail from Golden to Unity. So let's just get rid of the middle and let's just send it straight to Unity Village, please. And so this is our address, 100 Unity Circle South, Suite A, Lee Summit, Missouri, 64086. And we're really grateful. And I always want to thank you so much. And our website, all this information, if you sign up for our e-newsletter, it's really helpful. And you'll just be in the loop of all the good stuff that's happening. So if you go to the website in the upper right, it says newsletter, and it'll be good. We were going to have Dr. Marilyn say a few words, but we just know she's here in spirit and traveling, and we wanted to open it up for questions and answers. Our board is here, and we're here for you. What are your thoughts or comments or questions? Yes.
Kathy, Reverend Kathy, I have a question. This is
Yes,
Joel.
please. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for everything. And I really loved your walking tour. And thank you, Julia, for the information. And here it's morning, so God morning, everybody. Um, I have a very simple question. What's the nearest airport? What's the nearest airport to fly into?
It's a Kansas City Airport. Yeah, it's just Kansas City International. It's about 44 minutes away from Unity Village, but it's
Yes.
actually closer than DIA was to the other home office by 4 minutes. So, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then when will registration go live for next April?
That's a good question. Our committee is just working on that right now, but I'm going to see what we'll be putting out again in our e-newsletter, the RSVP, and
Yes.
save the dates and the links where you can get your hotel room. And they're actually going pretty darn quick. Here it's April, and we have at least 20 rooms that are already taken. And so it's going to be an amazing event. We're really excited.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And Divine Joel is our newest recording secretary for the archive. So he's our newest volunteer as of yesterday. And so we just say thank you so much. Yes. Yay. All right. Any other comments or questions? I do remember those calls that, there we go. Yeah, Reverend Maureen.
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to thank everybody who has contributed to this, the success of this move. It's awesome. And Reverend Kathy, I'm just in amazement for all that you can do with your wonderful teams and your enthusiasm. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We are blessed.
Thank you so much. It was obviously God who did it. But I do remember telling in a meeting with Dr. Deb and Dr. Jim, I said, this is why I'm here. I'm here because the archives has to move. It was a moment where I just kind of knew it, and it just came together magically, literally magically. Lots of prayer. Anything, I just love that we've been in integrity with spiritual principle from moment one. We started out with visioning. We started out talking to the field, seeing if they had ideas. We created a plan. You know, we had a spiritual mind treatment we put out to the field. We did our blessing ceremony to release the old space and to call in the new space. I mean, just everything we did was absolutely in spiritual principle, and that's what I'm most proud of. I'm grateful for our beautiful team, our board that just keeps giving from their hearts. So.
Kathy,
Yes.
I wonder if you could say a word or two about your interfaces with Unity and Unity Archives and whatever is happening with INTA, and perhaps you could talk a little bit about your relationship with the Kansas City CSL and what they've been doing for you. And I guess you have said something about that.
Oh, thank you. Those are all wonderful things. So about 7 years ago, I had just started, I was learning about archiving, and we wanted to learn how do you archive. So we called our friends at Unity Village, and we came out here, Melinda Eskridge and I, and they rolled out the red carpet back then. And we had 3 days. They said, whatever you need to learn, we're here to support you. And it was just lovely. So at that moment, we started a New Thought Archives Consortium that has met monthly for 7 years. And some of the culminations is last year we spoke at the Parliament of the World's Religions as a group on the powerful women of New Thought. And then we were able to do it here at INTA Congress again. And so we've had a great relationship with Unity Archives. They've been good friends. And it was just kind of a natural thing to come here. And at the INTA Congress, I mean, talk about being part of history, just like we all are right in this moment, by the way, as we listen about this. I was at the vote for INTA, International New Thought Alliance, when they voted to move their archives to Unity Village. So they're moving probably around January, December, January, so it's not so hot when they move their archival items. So that New Thought Archives group is coming here. And I will give credit to Dr. Barbara Fields. She was in one of our meetings and she said, wouldn't it be great if we had like a world headquarters for all of our New Thought archives? And she planted that seed that has grown to where we are now, where we're becoming this world headquarters. I love the name Unity Village. You know, it is a village of unity and oneness and light. And we've had nothing but wonderful things to say. They've been so supportive. Anything we've needed, they said, we're here. You know, they just redid the lighting and did some other construction things. And they said, don't worry about it. This is on us. You know, in the future, you know, you can take care of things. But we want you to be settled in and feel good. So Reverend Jim Blake has been so welcoming. Their leadership team has come through. Reverend Mark Fuss will just drop in to say hi and see how things are going. And how can we collaborate further? They're getting us on the agenda when they do tours and all these groups come in. So it's really been an outrageous location. So people can really come and visit. And it's not hidden on the side of a hill, but it's in a beautiful, I get to look out at fountains every day. And we've been very blessed. Our New Thought partners of Unity have just, I mean, they've had roots here. They've been here over 100 years on this wonderful, beautiful campus. And it just makes sense. It makes sense with CSL going virtual, which is, and selling the building. I mean, that, if anyone didn't know, that is the reason why we had to move. And the timing was just divine, how it all flowed together. And we're in a beautiful, welcoming space. We're so blessed. Our movement, lots of gratitude to Unity.
And your local church?
Oh, CSL Kansas City. So they did come out that first week when Dr. Martha was here with Dr. Chris, and we went out to lunch. And I've gone to a service there, and we're inviting them. You know, there's to come and to volunteer and to help out. So we're still building that relationship, but we're really excited to have a CSL down the road from us too. Yes, Reverend Steve.
And I recall that at your home here in Bailey, Colorado, you had a labyrinth in the backyard, and I bet you're glad you didn't have to bring that with you.
I was ready. I had buckets. I would have packed up my toys and brought them. But yeah, they have a gorgeous labyrinth here. It's the largest paver labyrinth in the world, I think, here at Unity Village, right in our backyard. And so it's fun at lunch or before work. I can just go walk the labyrinth. And we will be doing that as part of our retreat. We'll have the town hall with some visioning for the future and invite everyone to do a ritual and some sacred labyrinth walks to really anchor and to let spirit flow through us and to capture that. Yeah. Thank you.
Reverend Kathy, there is a question from Alberto.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go. And Julia just put the answer. It was about, can I reserve the hotel now? What is the price to attend the meeting in April?
Perfect. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Julia.
All righty. Well, again, I just invite you, please make sure you're signed up for our e-newsletters on our website. You know, we do so many wonderful things. We have monthly lunch and learns. You know, Dr. Mark is doing so much with our YouTube channel. There's just, it's a really, I love the acronym EAR. The archives is engaging, actionable, and relevant. You know, just like Dr. Jim talked about our new vision and mission statement. We're here for you. I mean, we literally are here for you. We are the shoulders that we have all stood beyond and bringing it out to the world. Wow, Dr. Ken already has his own cutout. We love that. That's cool. Yeah, I gotta watch the chat, guys. It's fun. Anyways, but we just want to bless you and thank everyone for being here today. I don't know if Dr. Jim has any final words before we hand it over to Mirna, who's our newest board member, by the way. And she's bringing Spanish translation and to really make the archives really accessible to our wonderful Latin America friends and Spanish-speaking community. So Dr. Jim.
Well, if you go to page 440 of the textbook, you'll find that we exist to express God through us. And that's exactly what the archives is doing. With that, Kathy, are we ready to close, or do we have more questions?
Looks like we're complete. God bless y'all. Thank you. And we will put this recording on our YouTube channel, so if anyone missed it, they can kind of come with us. But thank you. Thank you, each and every one of you. I just feel your hearts, and I just feel just the deepest gratitude for, thank you for being here. And your support.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Marin,
Okay. All right, so I invite you to go within, cerrando los ojos, feeling the energy that has been created right here and right now. In this foundation, in everyone that is part of it, of the Science of Mind archives, from the move, from the packing, from everything that has taken place until today. We say thank you. Gracias, gracias. Así como también todo lo que ha sucedido y continúa siendo, en donde cada corazón, cada alma en servicio aporta a esta fundación que es tan importante para todos y cada uno. Here in the philosophy of Science of Mind, I know that we continue to prosper. We continue to just be in this space when we meet all connected to this philosophy that has changed our lives and continues to change them. Preserving, loving, and sharing this with many. Some that we know now, and some that will continue to come. And so we are very grateful. Estamos muy agradecidos por esta reunión. Estamos agradecidos por la participación de todos los que forman parte. Sabiendo que la misión y la visión de los archivos de la ciencia de la mente continúan aquí y ahora. Expandiendo, cambiando corazones, cambiando mentes y simplemente revelando la verdad. Just knowing that the truth continues to be revealed through this. And with that, we say together, and so it is.
And so it is.
Y así es.
So it is.
Yes, yes. So it is. Thank you.